Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, there we go. We are live. I got this file open because I need the color for these bad boys, so I can go ahead and get them colored up properly over here. We're doing some work on the Dreamkeeper's Ascension lore book today, but first it is Wisp Appreciation Week, so I'm gonna color up a Wisp sketch that Liz was kind enough to get blocked and ready for action. I think it'll be pretty fast. There's 3 of these. I might do all of them. Hey, good evening, folks. Good evening. It's afternoon here.
Dave doesn't know what time it is. What time is it in the corner?
It's time to draw in the corner. It's always time to draw in the corner. Hey, Dragon Lost, Mamo, Dr. Surreal. Hope you guys are having a nice Monday. I know what day it is, at least. I know it's Monday. That's kind of impressive, right? I mean, a little bit.
You're on top of things. You're kind of on top of things.
That's what they'll put that on my tombstone. Dave Lilly, kind of on top of things. Do 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 do. Can't resist just a little teeny bit of cleanup. I'll probably crop this one in a little closer too.
I think so. So how has your day been so far, Dave?
So far, my day has been really good. Some more work on the Ascension pages. Actually, I can show you what I've been working on. I've been getting a very important table of contents. This is page 1 of the table of contents. There's going to be a lot of stuff in Dreamkeeper's Ascension. But I'm getting the early pages, like, not cemented, because there's going to be potentially the ability to edit those as needed, but I'm getting them sort of down because I need to get the sort of the sense, the flavor, how the book is proceeding. And I think I'm getting that pretty good, and so I can continue on and start developing fresh sketches and writing for the new landscapes and lore and things like that are going to be in there. So that is what I have been doing. I had coffee. Coffee's nice, so I really have no complaints about today so far.
You want to, EMV says he wants to try and draw a picture of Wisp for her appreciation month at some point.
Oh, cool.
Maybe do it over the weekend. Well, Wisp only gets a week, so... I'm sure if you want to wait until next week to do it, we'll try to repost it, but this is the week Wisp.
Yeah, she's kind of like a mayfly. She comes out of her cocoon for 1 week and then she's gone again.
She sticks in the glass and like covers it, and it's gross.
Yeah. I would like to thank Rob Ritter for the idea for Wisp Appreciation Week, because he actually just, on his own recognizance, did a bunch of really cool Wisp art. Like, I think he had a Wisp Appreciation Week and did, like, I think 7 pieces of cool art. Mm-hmm. And we liked the idea so much, we're like, you know what, let's actually, like, let's announce it from the Vivid social media stuff, and everyone can hopefully have fun. But I just want people to understand that if you like Wisp Appreciation Week, then you like Rob Ritter, and you like the art that he does on his social media account. You should go check him out.
We want to know when V Week is.
When V Week is, I don't know if she needs a week. She's got so much attention year round. If we start getting, like, that would be a little bit, like, excessive, I think, because she's basically the default position. But then you need to, like, stop and remember Wisp, because otherwise she'll just, like, curl up in a corner and be quiet and mind her own business, cry a little bit, and then she'll be forgotten. So she needs the attention.
Johnny Lost wants to see a Chinese calendar style Year of the Lithograph.
Chinese calendar style. So is that like a calendar that just has pictures of them for the year? I'm not familiar with Chinese calendars as opposed to like other calendars.
I know the Zodiac ones, but I don't know what those look like.
I'm gonna call this Ripples, so I can play with it separately. Pew! There we go.
You know what? I say lore pages. I don't think you're appreciating Wisp enough.
Well, you're probably looking at it on a lag. I'm looking at Wisp right now, so.
You were looking at lore pages. I caught you.
I was looking at lore pages a tiny bit. Wisp is cool with lore pages. She doesn't mind.
How is the crowd-funded skirmish game coming along? Haven't seen any new updates. We are programming.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not programming personally, but the coder guys have been locked up, and they've been doing non-stop coding, just cleaning up a whole, like, line after line. I wanted to know when we can get an update from them. They say that they have an update where they've effectively retooled everything, and it's been a huge amount of work. However, for the end user, it looks the same. It's just under the hood, everything actually works better, and it's linked up, and it's now poised to continue productive development. But it'd be a little weird to post an update and be like, hey guys, tons and tons and tons of work has gone into this, and it will look exactly the same to you. So there has been ongoing skirmish production on the video game. Just nothing that would really be tangible to an end user, which is why they haven't really made any announcements yet. But I am assured that work is continuing pretty steadily on that. So typically I'll be announcing the things that I can show like pretty visual progress on. You know, like the lore book, it's like, oh, every time there's a new page, there's a new thing to show, potentially. So
Memo says he had power outages on Friday, but he has something else to show you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if we showed camel by camel on the stream last time. That's another Mammo thing. I actually got it ready in here, so let me show you guys what Mammo's been working on with the AI stuff. I do have it muted, because if we play the audio, then we're going to get, like, you know, copyright and stuff.
Because we don't own the music.
Correct, we don't own all the camels.
Oh, DK never had a beach scene in the series, so he animated one.
Oh, cool. Nice. Well, if you guys are enjoying this, there is more cool animation stuff on the way from Mammo. It's new stuff as we speak. I just don't have it, like, you know, set up in the stream thing on my computer yet. They're gonna be over top of the chat. You'll have to speak and then be underneath the dancing girls. Good luck, everyone.
Yep, you can show us things in the chat, but we can't put them on the stream, on the same stream, because we have to, like, isn't it threading through OBS?
Yeah, I'd have to download it and then go into options and get it set up and stuff, which it takes a little time. It's not too bad, but I want to be, like, productive on stream and move on art pretty quick.
You know, we don't want to freeze for 10 minutes and try to get all the back-end power stuff hooked up.
Yeah, typically it's good for me to have stuff set up in advance, like especially for you know, like even the Halloween contest. That's why we have the deadline. It's not like the day of Halloween for the fan art contest. It is the day before Halloween, so I have time to actually get the entries together and try to put them into OBS and try to jog my memory on how the hotkeys work, because it's actually kind of you'd think it'd be the simplest thing just to be like, oh yeah, hotkey left and right will go to the next and previous image slideshow, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to set that up, surprisingly. Actually, speaking of which, I should probably mention that we are in fact going to be having the Dreamkeepers 20th annual Halloween fan art contest, but we are doing something a little different this year. And the difference is, I guess we're going to have it be a Vivid Halloween fan art contest, because you can do Dreamkeepers, or you can do any other Vivid franchise that you want. So it's now wide open. You could do So if you like Bethelium or UberQuest, Yark, GarageBand, Cloud Scratcher, whatever you like, you can do fan art for that, and that will be eligible to win prizes just like everything else. And if you want to do crossovers, like whatever, the world is your oyster when it comes to Vivid stuff. So I don't know, we were just thinking like, hey, we've got, like, Vivid's got these other cool franchises. I'm sure these other authors would probably appreciate getting in on the action, so why not? So this is our first year where it is a Vivid Halloween fan art contest, and you can do stuff from any combination of the Vivid franchises that you like. And nobody will stop you, and nobody will call you weird. Well, they might call you weird on the internet, but I won't call you weird.
All right, so Mammo posted his next adventure on Twitter, which I can look at least.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I will tell you about it. And then my system will take forever to load because it's a very. I don't know why my connection's so messed up right now. It's still got trouble.
I feel like a little reflection will go a long way in this one.
Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like a good vignette.
Yeah, actually, I was originally planning to crop it down, but it's like, I kind of like having the space around it. Really gives it a nice feel, so I'm going to keep that on second thought.
It's the Volume 6 Band Beach episode. Oh my goodness.
The Volume 6 Band Beach episode. Nice.
Whip is orange.
Save that link for me, please. I want to check that out after the stream.
Okay.
Also,
V has the beach ball.
actually, as
And
Mammo is in the process of continuing to make more cool stuff, V has a beach ball. That's good. Let me pull up. We just launched a fundraiser for Mammo because he's having some difficulties in a war zone situation, and if you guys want to help him out, that is currently live on the Dreamkeeper site. I announced it to the newsletter, but I still got to put it out on the socials. So if you're not on our newsletter, you might not have realized, but we just started a fundraiser for Mammo. Here's the picture. Ta-da! Rescue Fund. See? I knew I had a picture for it somewhere. But if you want to help him out, pitch in, save the cats, you can go to dreamkeeperscomic.com, check out the store page, and it's under the donations. Actually, let me see if you have to type that in, or if it's or if the category is like up in the store page for clicking. I probably should have figured all of this out before.
And I think next time in the newsletter we'll show some of those cats. Those are really cute cats. I love the Siamese one.
Yeah, the cats are adorable. I don't want anything bad to happen
Dusty?
to them.
Oh, I love the cats.
All right, I got a screenshot in Telegram here. If you are going into the store like this, the categories up here, scroll to the right, you'll see donations right there. That's where you can donate to help out Mammo and keep his ability to create alive, along with some really adorable cats.
How long will the donation page be open, Dave?
I'm not sure. I would say probably at least a week, but we haven't really gotten any like super concrete plans about that yet. But if you're wondering like how much time do you have to potentially donate, at least a week, and we'll see, possibly a little longer, but a week is pretty safe.
Mm-hmm. And people are donating right now, from what I've seen.
Oh, well, thank you.
Will the donation page go live on the After Dark page?
On the I'm not sure if it's going to go live in the After Dark store. I think we're probably going to keep it on the Dreamkeeper site. But I do think that one of the things is if you wanted to get some Dreamkeepers merch, we are matching donations with a store credit. So if you donate to Mammo and you help him out, we're going to send, we send 90% to him. I think we keep 10% to cover, credit card transaction fees and exciting stuff like that. But you will get a credit to your account on the store, and you can just use that to buy stuff in the store. Now, it's taken a little more work to get the credits set up on the Vivid After Dark store, but I'm told that within a few days that should be set up as well. So if you want advance notice on all this stuff, be sure to get on the newsletter, especially the newsletter for the After Dark store would be announcing that specifically.
There's a lot of crazy wires and programming going on behind the scenes to hook everything up. We can't just snap our fingers and make this magically appear.
Yeah,
It's
unfortunately,
a lot of work.
processing transactions and dealing with credit cards, it's fun. You'd think, oh, it's just a thing that happens automatically, like when I go and shop on Amazon. It's like, well,
No.
there's a bunch of complicated stuff involved.
Lots of hoops to jump through over here.
Yeah, but keeps the lights on, and hopefully now it can help keep the lights on for Mamo as well. So if you guys are helping out with that, thank you very much. And I don't know, it's just really nice of you to be able to pitch in, help someone that's been contributing so much to the reader community. And I don't know, I like it when we can help someone out. That just makes me feel good. And of course,
especially when they're a mammoth.
a mammoth, like a mastodon.
Mammoth.
He's a mammal.
Thank you, Hazen, for reaching. I wasn't even here yet. He was psychically connected to me, I guess.
Yeah, it's the bridge of incidents knew that you would be there.
Yeah, I don't know how
He
that's
summoned
going.
you.
Have you guys looked at it, or?
I haven't looked at it, but I know that a couple people have donated so far.
Oh, that's good. You can if you, I don't know if Dave, I literally just got here. I don't know if they have explained yet that whatever you donate, you will get equal amount of that in store credit.
Yes.
So you can
they were...
donate, and it's like you can then just have some. You can, Mamo can get some money to keep his cute kitty cats fed in the middle of this stupid war zone that is persisting much longer than anyone really seems to want it to. And also you can have some store credit for, the upcoming things like the Black Friday sale, new fall collections, new fall lineups that are probably going to be coming in fall, I'm assuming. I think we've seen some previews of some things that will be coming for fall. So if you want to have some money go to a good cause and also earn a little store credit in the Vivid stores with an S. The Not Safe for Work store will be coming soon, is my understanding, but it's not. I think there was a newsletter that went out that said as much, but it's not active yet. So if you want store credit for the Not Safe for Work store, and I imagine many of you do, you will need to wait just a little bit longer. I think probably have everything sorted out by not too much longer.
The newsletter said that the store credit is up to $20. Is that true?
Up to $20? I think no. I think some people were telling me there were options for like $50 and $100. One person at least told me they sent 50, and the
yeah, I know.
I know,
I thought the
the
newsletter
50
said up to
credit
20.
went through for them. They said so. I guess it's been more than. I guess it's more than 20.
I think there was an early draft where I was like, what if we like mess ourselves up? Should we put a cap on like how much we match the store credit? So I think an early draft of the newsletter I was saying up to 20, but then we decided, fuck it, we're gonna match everything. We were like, nope, no limits, matching everything, full steam ahead.
Well,
goddamn the torpedoes. So if that if that up to 20 verbiage made it through the final newsletter, then that was a goof on my part. We're gonna be matching everything in the store
okay,
credit.
well then you'll be sending out another newsletter to correct that with pictures of cute cats.
What? Did I really send the unedited version out? I thought
That's
that
what I
was...
saw.
Well, yeah, but there was edits and changes, and you guys see how difficult it is to run a business when you have an incompetent CEO named David in charge. It's almost impossible.
We should just draw in the corner.
I figure
Yeah, I was,
if I do a bad enough managing
to
things, people
explain.
will stop asking me to manage.
I try to explain to people that like they're like why doesn't a lot of, because like a lot of people have, I don't know why, but they come to me and they ask me like, I've drawn cool things, I've done cool things, why doesn't Dave and Liz ever talk about them or do these things or something like that? Why don't they have like a fan art bureau? And I always have to explain to people, bro, it is like one fucking dude that is like in Michigan somewhere, and he doesn't really know how to operate computers, but barely enough to draw. I don't think David even had a monitor on his computer for a long time. He just had his draw pad, and that was his monitor also. So that people were asking why I don't know why people ask me this, but they're asking why he won't respond to things or like why he doesn't get on Twitter more. And I'm like, because his computer to him is literally just like a thing to draw and do like videos and stuff on, and he's not like trying to really do like you know, you two aren't really used to having like a big social media presence. So
No.
you're not used to like, you know, they go through and look at cool things people send them and they go, wow, that's really cool, I'm so glad people make that. And then you know, because they're not used to having people do things like that, it sort of slips their mind that like, oh, we should probably like retweet this or feature it somewhere or something. So
Yeah, like I tried to do.
you know, it's nothing personal.
Yeah, it's not like we're on purpose trying to, like, not be fun. But I think this came up in the interview that I had with that guy on Newgrounds lately, which more David Memory in action. I'm sure he's like, yeah, please refer to me as that guy on Newgrounds. That's really gonna help drive traffic. I'm gonna try to get a link out later. But one of the things we talked about
Phantom Arcade, I think is his name.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
he's in the newsletter. I just have to get it on the socials. But we even talked about like, oh yeah, so like what drew you to Newgrounds and what's your favorite thing about it? And I had to kind of get into it. It's like, well, actually, I don't know. I just have a bunch of accounts and we got to post stuff everywhere because people might like to read it. But generally, being on social media and being even just like hanging out in the Dreamcord server, like the vast majority of what I do there is I just post art samples. I don't really hang out and talk that much. It's not that I don't necessarily like talking, it's just that I've always got so much of a focus on trying to produce stuff or relax and recharge. And relaxing and recharging to me is like the opposite of being on the computer. Like the computer's kind of like, yeah, that's where I work, that's where I'm productive. So if I'm relaxing, I'm talking like kicking back, looking at a paper book or maybe like a DVD where because as soon as when you're running a business like this and you look at the computer screen, like the computer screen, that is where you do all your work. So even if you're just like watching like a Netflix or something on your computer, we don't have Netflix, but if we did, like there's still that little part in the back of your mind where it's like, hey, that tab right there, emails, that tab right there, customer service, that tab, maybe you should do that. Maybe, oh, why aren't you retweeting something right now? Maybe you should look at social media. So I mentioned him like
computers are for work.
yeah. So it's not that I don't know. I guess like one of my biggest weaknesses is ability to socialize properly on the internet. And I even mentioned in that interview like kind of the way I try to connect with people on an authentic emotional level is like through what I put into my work. That seems to be more my emotional wavelength, is trying to put things into my work that might resonate with other people, less like actually directly interacting with other people, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I don't know if people maybe got the idea that you and Liz were not like, I don't know, just like seeing things and going, gay, and then just like not reposting them or something. Like I tried to, you know, it seemed like some people were a little bit like, what the fuck? Because everyone else you know, they grew up with this stuff. We didn't grow up with it, but like they grew up with social media and stuff, and they're used to when you make something that is like a fan piece of someone's thing or something that they, you know, even if it's really bad, like a lot of people will still retweet it just because they're thankful for people liking their stuff. I think probably with Vivid there's a little bit higher stand. Like if you draw something in MS Paint that looks like it belongs on 2008 DeviantArt or something, like probably that won't be shown to the fans. But if you draw something that's really cool and high quality, which some people have been doing,
yeah,
or if you create something with AI that's really cool and high quality and doesn't have like, you know, 6 arms or weird derpy eyes or something, you know, then probably those things have been featured in the past. I assume they'll probably be featured or retweeted or liked or something in the future. But you also have to keep in mind that anyone who creates things and has a social media presence, it's up to them how they want to approach you know, sharing things or whatever, even if they want to do that. So if you create things with the thought, the intention that I really want this to be like shared by a creator I like, I don't want to say that you're doing it for the wrong reasons, but you are doing it for very risky reasons. You cannot get married to sort of the outcome of how people interpret your work or what people do with it. That has never been more clear than in today's age with the advent of AI. If you create art, if you create anything, people can react to it however they want, and they can do whatever they want with it, usually within legal reason. They had to ban the South Park videos from the new Sora 2 video AI generator site.
I saw a clip of that, and if someone told me, oh yeah, this is from the latest season of South Park, like it had a plot, the voices were spot on, like it was like straight up South Park. It even had like a good little story.
It looked
twist.
exactly like it, yeah. And someone probably made that with the idea that, you know, I don't know, that like Trey and Matt maybe would see it. Like it's not out of the question that someone probably made that just because they like South Park, but
I think they're just having fun.
They might just be having fun, but it's not out of the question for me that someone made that with like, I hope Matt and Trey see this and they get a kick out of it or something, you know, like, because that does sometimes things like that do happen, and then the result of that, can you imagine if that was the intention, and then the result of that is that all South Park things are banned from Sora 2 now. That is the reaction that you got, and that's not necessarily a reaction from Viacom, Comedy Central, or anything like that, or Paramount, or Trey and Matt, or anyone. It's just what has Sora 2 decided to do, and we don't know if maybe there was pressure on them to do that, or if they just did it on their own. But that's just all I'm getting at, is like, if you make something with the intention of, I want someone or all people to react a certain way to this, I don't think, a lot of people say you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I don't think you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I think you're doing it for your reasons, but your reasons, the outcome of that is absolutely not guaranteed. So I don't want anyone to create anything, Overquest, Dreamkeepers, anything like that, GarageBand fan art. I don't want you to create it and then be disappointed if like an artist doesn't see it, or maybe doesn't share it in the way that you want, and it like upsets you. I don't want people to create fan art and then be upset by the outcome of it, is all. I hope people continue to create fan art and stuff, but I don't want people to be downhearted or have their heart broken or something if the outcome of that fan art isn't what they were sort of hoping for. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's like a sort of new territory for me psychologically, just thinking, oh, if I'm bad at socializing, other people might be disappointed. It's like, really? That's new. I don't want to.
Well,
I don't want to make people feel bad, but it definitely
No, you know what?
keeping up
You could be
socially
like-
is not my forte.
Maybe some people sent fan letters to celebrities in the mail back in the day, and then if they were kind of hoping that maybe it would start like a pen pal relationship with them, and then if they don't get a reply for 3 years, and then it's like a generic thing later, maybe they get offended or mad because they had their hopes built up.
Yeah, that's where the term "standing" comes from. It's from that Eminem song called "Stan." In that song, a guy
know where
named
it came
Stan wrote. Yeah, and that, as a guy wrote letters to Eminem in that song. I think it was a mostly fictitious thing, but Eminem the whole song is him writing letters over and over, talking about how he never answers his fan mail, and he goes crazy. I think he records like a tape and sends it to him of him like killing someone because he's gone so nuts over the perceived rejection. And the last verse of the song is just Eminem talking about how, like, hey man, I just saw all these letters. I'd like been so busy on tour and stuff for so many years, I've never had time to like go through fan mail, but what's up, man? You know, I'm glad you and your brother are big fans. Eminem, I know Eminem is very funny, but Eminem has a lot of songs that are very insightful and very like just real, just down to earth. And I think a lot of his older stuff like that really is because Eminem was someone who went from literally nothing to being like world famous in like a year. And he talks a lot about how like fame affects you, and how with fame comes these new sort of responsibilities like that he wasn't prepared for. And that kind of stuff is things people just don't ever think about. People don't ever talk about when they get famous. I'm glad he made things like that, because that sort of is true. That is, you, Dave and Liz, I think maybe are going through a little bit of that right now. I don't think any of you are going to go out and kill someone and send them a recording of it. I hope not. But they're going through the phase of like, oh, we have fans that want to like make things to get our attention, or make things to like show how much they love our work, and they don't. I think that the fact that they're not always like sharing those or celebrating those a lot is just due to the fact that that is like very new territory to them.
Well, I mean,
you
it's
can
like
maybe correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I've had I have a PO box I check maybe once a month when I'm in the post office, and I've had somebody drawing me pictures, and I just, I sent them a print back one time, but I can't draw pictures back to them every time they do it. And eventually
I hope no one's expecting that. Yeah.
They stopped sending me stuff when they like they wanted me to put their stuff on Twitter for them, on my Twitter for them. And we just can't do that. We don't have the time. We just can't do that. And they stopped contacting me. So.
Especially if it's a physical thing, you would have to scan it. You would have to color correct it. There's a lot involved with that.
They could make a Twitter and send it to me, but and they've done this with the Halloween contest entries, and I can't do that.
Yeah, it's just, the other thing people don't consider is like just people only have 24 hours in one day, and they also have to like eat and just, they have to do very normal human things.
Make more art.
Make more, yeah. They like I noticed there was a sort of, well, I guess I'll say this much. There was a podcast community. I was working with a guy who did the podcast for a while, and there were a lot of people that just you could not explain it to them. They could not understand. I've sent this person so much content I made for them, and they just never play it on their show, and it's bad. It's bad it's very, very bad. And they try to go through you because, well, he won't answer me, so maybe this guy who works for him will answer me. And then they message you and they ask you, can you show him this stuff? I think he's just not seeing it. And I'm like, do you understand, like eventually they see, like after like a year of sending people stuff, they see this stuff, and then like if they don't see it, they're not seeing anything. But if they are looking at anything people send them, they're seeing it. And after a year, if they're not showing it or featuring it, especially if it's someone who is showing and featuring other things other people are making, they probably just didn't make the cut, and they probably just don't want to go through the trouble of like potentially pissing off a fan and telling them like, I don't, because people don't know how to handle like rejecting people a lot of the time, especially when there's a risk that they might go nuts from the rejection. So they don't understand that, and you can't explain to them either how people who make content spend like 80% of their time making content. That's what they want to do with their time. They don't necessarily want to be friends with everyone who likes their content. Sometimes they probably wish they could. I remember the Angry Video Game Nerd when he had a website. He may still have a website, but he had an FAQ on his website, and one of the questions was a frequently asked question was, can we hang out?
Oh God.
And then his response to this was, sorry, but no. And a lot of people got upset about that, because that was the like sort of the dawn of people getting famous on the internet and doing any kind of like consistent content on the internet. And people just didn't understand like that this guy is one person. He has like his life, he has a wife, his children. I think he had a wife at that time. He has other family. Like, you just can't make time, especially if you have thousands of fans. You just can't make time for everyone individually.
Hazen, I'm not sure I ever told you this, but we had a reader who got upset with us because he wanted us to drive across state lines to watch movies with him in his basement.
Watch movies with him in his basement.
Yes.
Ooh, how in the world did you pass that up?
Well, we just don't watch movies that often, typically. I do remember getting really mad at AVGN when he told me, no, we're not hanging out. But now that I
Yeah,
understand a
me
little
too.
more, now that I sort of see it from the other side, I can forgive him, I guess. AVGN,
It's
it's
like when
fine.
people, yeah, it's like when people send a message to Steam or something, and they're just like, "Well, Gabe Newell should answer me for this or something." It's like Gabe Newell, there's no way he can possibly. It's completely, yeah, RLS. It's completely unreasonable to expect for people who even have 2030 fans to be able to make time for each individual person. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to sort of talk from the perspective of, or like respect to the perspective, I guess. Even though I don't mean to be disrespectful, but uh, I've never. That's never been a thing for me. I don't know. I think even as a kid, I just sort of understood like, oh well, these are like they're just people. Like they're just they do something I like. They voice a character that I like, or they do a show that I like. But at the end of the day, they're just people. They don't have time to like talk to me on the phone or through like email or something like that.
I will say, the person who wanted us to come to drive over 24 hours to watch movies in his basement with him, um, we told him we would be at a convention and he could come see us, and he said no because he wasn't famous yet.
He said no because what?
He wasn't famous yet.
He wouldn't come see you at a convention because he wasn't famous yet?
Yes.
Is that like a real thing that he said?
Yes.
That's far out.
So we just draw.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to meet a creator face to face, something like a comic convention is probably the best way. There were I don't really care too much for Markiplier's content. I don't think many people over 12 do, but he's very
Oh, I think it's cute.
I've always heard he's a very nice guy, and he would always make the trip to VidCon every year when they had it. And his reason for that, and it seemed to genuinely be like his reason, if you watch him talk about this, is that there are people who go to they go all the way from all around the world. They come to VidCon in LA for I think it's in Anaheim, but they come to VidCon for the express purpose. The only reason they are there is to see one creator. And they make that trip. Like some people take transcontinental flights to go to VidCon to see one creator. And he said if there was one person that did that and came all the way to VidCon to see him and he wasn't there, he would just feel like shit about that. So he always went to VidCon to make sure that anyone who was there to see him would get to see him. Again, even though I don't care for his content, I think that's probably a lot better of an outlook on how to handle people wanting to get close to you and meet you and stuff than a lot of creators probably have. I know a lot of people, especially when the TikTok and the Vine stuff started coming out and that people were getting famous on that, they were talking about how like VidCon was just like ruined from that because there were all these like literally people there who had like 2,000 followers that went to VidCon like as a guest, and they were there thinking like people were going to be like swarming around. They were thinking they were going to get special treatment and get to go inside before everyone else and stuff, and it of course didn't happen. And they said that there was a lot of turmoil because of that. I can imagine.
Wow.
So was it like a bunch of? I know sometimes there's those streamers that do all the IRL sort of obnoxious stuff to get views. I can only imagine what a convention comprised of like all those people focused into one place, like that just seems like it would go off the rails real fast.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
filming themselves at the convention. Everybody is up with their cameras filming themselves.
I'm here at VidCon. I'm here at VidCon.
Well, it is
I'm here at VidCon.
Yeah. It is VidCon. You're going into a convention full of people who are famous for filming themselves. I think probably you should go in with the expectation that they'll probably be doing that. But I don't think a lot of the weird IRL and prank streamers and people who do like really stupid shit on YouTube because they're just so desperate. I don't think a lot of those people came to I've never been to VidCon, of course, but I don't think a lot of those people go to VidCon because they just, I don't know if they're not invited or they're not going to get special treatment or what, but they historically, I don't think a lot of those people have shown up at those conventions. It's more like like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and those types of people. I think are usually what you'll see at VidCon, like the very friendly people who kind of just play games and stuff. I think that's more or less what you see there. Mamo said he had a lot of crazies asking for questionable stuff to generate. Why were they asking you? Like, they can just take models and generate whatever they want.
It's easier to make Mamo do it. Maybe they really like Mamo's ability or skill. I don't know.
Were they asking him to generate the things for him? Like, that, guys,
Sounds
that
like
is
it.
the worst. Like, like, people complain. I find it so funny. I don't know if this is what was going on, but this does happen. I find it so funny that people complain about, like, AI is too easy, and then, like, you just press a button and you get whatever you want. And then there's people out there literally taking commissions. People will pay them to generate stuff for them because they just can't figure out how AI works.
It's gone
Like,
from
a market has been created because of the learning curve of like using AI.
It has gone from learn to draw to learn to prompt.
Learn to prompt, yeah. I still think it's a good idea to learn to draw, but in my opinion, if you're an artist and you're up and coming, I would learn to do both. I would learn to draw and I would learn to prompt. I would learn how to use this technology because once you draw your own thing, you have a large body of work of your own work. You can train an AI on your own work, and then you can work faster based on your own work.
There's also, I think, a human element to learning to draw yourself. That, at least for me, like you'll know if you're an artist and if you should pursue that if you really love and enjoy drawing. Save as. Why are you giving me trouble with the save as? Oh, it's still in a Photoshop format. Okay. That's the part that I enjoy about art, is formatting files. But no, like if you're drawing stuff and you just enjoy it and you have a good time with it and you don't like, when I was a kid there was no social media. I wasn't worried about metrics or how many likes something would get. I was just drawing Ghostbuster ghosts and then putting it into my giant notebook of Ghostbuster ghosts, and I was
Because you liked it.
yeah, and that was what I loved to do.
That was before any of that, yeah.
So
there's
if you
no
got
other reason to draw.
They've got exactly 1 like per Ghostbuster ghost.
Yeah, one like mine.
And it was from him.
But if you have that like innate sense of like loving to do something, I would say that's how you know that you should try to pursue drawing. And I'm speaking, I guess, mostly to the next generation of people that are, because there's a generation where they will have the option to use AI immediately, and if they don't decide to, they might never learn to draw. But I think that there are benefits to, aside from just like the joy of bringing something to life with your own hands, there's also like AI is intrinsically going to be something that is derivative of the inputs that are put into there. So the ability for like human artistic style to grow and breathe and develop and move forward, the ability for like new styles and like points of view to kind of like develop, that's really going to be stunted if nobody is drawing anymore. And I almost feel like with AI, there will be less people doing art themselves in the future. That's just going to be, if there's an easier option, there's going to be a lot more people that are like, oh, well, I could just get the picture I want by hitting this button, or like learning to prompt properly, and so more people will do that. There will be less people putting the hours and hours and hours into developing a skill. But that said, if you're one of those people that you can tell that you have an authentic knack for it, you have talent, you really enjoy putting pencil to paper, if that's you, then I will say that potentially, who knows where the job market is going to go? Who knows how things are going to shake out? But I think the number of human artists is going to be lower in future years. So if you are one of them, that might give you like abilities that other people that are primarily using AI tools that they don't necessarily have direct access to. You could even potentially, like, maybe there'll be like something in the future where AI is part of like a productivity pipeline, but upstream from that is going to be the source of like, well, what do you put into AI to get like a unique thing that you're looking for? And at that point, like genuine artists might be worth their weight in gold. If people are like, well, I don't know what I want the AI style to look like. I'm not sure really how to put it in. I mean, I can choose from these existing styles, but wouldn't it be great if there's something like fresh, something new, like a different take on things? So I don't know, but I'm just saying I don't. There's going to be fewer artists in the future, but if you feel like the joy at bringing things to life and you just genuinely have a good time with it, I would encourage people to develop those skills because we don't want to like just completely lose those skills in the dustbin of history.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen either. I think you're right. I think there'll be less human artists. I think, or I think human artists is probably the worst. Probably a bad term. I use the term bespoke art.
You could say traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say well, you could say traditional, but does that, some people may think traditional is limited to like physical paper and pencil,
Yeah.
which is kind of what people thought before digital. That's why I use bespoke art, because from blank page to finished picture, you're hand making your art. That's the reason I use that term. But the AI stuff, it's still art, and there's still a human driving the machine to create it and correcting things and telling it, no, I don't want this. And, you sometimes have to do a lot of generations to get what you want too. But I think that people who are doing bespoke art, whether it's paper and pencil or digital or whatever, people who are actually creating from a blank thing to this without the assistance of any kind of machine or digital assistant thing, I think that those people will still have value. I've said this probably a lot of times on stream too. I think what you're going to see is Dave talked about when he was young and there was no Instagram, there was no Twitter, there was no Facebook, no MySpace, anything. Yeah, nothing. People who learned to draw would do it because they thought being able to draw was cool and they liked the things that they were creating. Sometimes that would work into a job somewhere where you would draw things if you got noticed or if you knew where to go. Most of the time it did not. And most of people who learned to draw really well until they got full-time jobs and they didn't have time to draw anymore, and then they just stopped doing it. That was just kind of the way things went. But a lot of people who are coming up now have been born since 2008, 2009. They grew up in a world where that stuff not only exists, but it is what is normal. If you draw something really cool, it's stupid not to just post it on social media. So for a long time, we have had this thing where it is indistinguishable who is actually drawing things because they enjoy the process and they like creating things, and who is drawing things just because they want to be famous on Twitter, right? Those things have been, to most people, have been indistinguishable. I have always been able to tell, and you will be able to tell quickly too, because the people who are angry that AI exists are drawing to be famous, and the people who are angry that AI exists are probably drawing things that are very generic anyway. Like I've heard this
like the
phenomenon
same character
described
over and over again.
Yeah, just like I've heard it described once as people drawing fan art of a creation that doesn't exist. And I've never heard it described better than that. Like people will draw fan art of their own OCs and characters that don't exist. They're not in it. You can't go read a story that's been crafted where the characters all have chemistry and the story moves like a plot forward and it has suspension. Or what is not suspension? What tension? It has tension. It has all this stuff in it that a story is supposed to have. You can't go read that because it doesn't exist, and it'll never exist, because that's more work than just drawing a picture of a girl you made up doing yoga, and you get 20,000 likes for that.
Yeah, I mean,
so that, like, those people are the ones who are angry that AI exists, because their entire existence, no matter what they set out to do with their art, has been warped and has been confined into, I draw for Twitter likes, whether they want to admit it, whether you want to admit it. That's what's going on. those people will disappear. They will slowly start to dwindle in numbers until they're completely replaced by people just using AI to do that same exact type of stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like I could see some light sort of like low effort cheesecake art. Like that's fun sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that, but it definitely like if that was the only kind of art I was ever doing, I think I would get tired of it pretty quick. Um, just because it's not like that fulfilling to me. It's more fulfilling to, you know, try to bring a world and a story and a situation and just all of the stuff with Dreamkeepers. That's what really gets my motor running. It's just the the plot and the creatures and how everything interacts and comes together. Even when I was
And
still
that shows in the story too when you read it.
yeah, and I think it's stuff like that that it's like social media is it's like necessary. Like I'm not like, oh man, I love using social media. It's okay, it can be fun sometimes, but like really I kind of have to, I have been trying to make myself better at using social media because for the longest time, like one of my weak points was I would be always making art and I would never quite be caught up posting it. So like, because I'd be like, well, I could sit down and make some social media posts, or I could just get started real quick on this next drawing, and you can guess which
Well,
one
that's
I would.
why we, hey, yeah, hey you. That's why we have the artifacts every day to show art that people have never seen before.
Yeah, that's why
And
we're
I'm on
trying to
over
get systems in
5,000
place.
people have still never seen it before, Dave. You've got like 200 gigabytes of art nobody's ever seen.
I know that's why we are now trying to get systems in place where we are like, no, we need to get something consistent. I need to start scheduling social media posts in advance so that our social media accounts have steady activity. There's stuff that people can constantly enjoy. I've got all this art. I need to, but it's like I have to make myself stop and share it. You know, that's not like
Yeah.
that's not where the joy is for me. The joy is in like bringing things to life underneath my fingertips and then like sharing it with other people. I do want to share with other people. I want other people to be able to enjoy it. But using social media, it's like it's a means to an end.
That is why people like you will not be replaced, at least for a very long time. I would say probably not within our lifetimes. People, that kind of creativity and love for things will not be replaced by AI. Arliss said something that I really agree with, and I think is sort of related here. He said that I've said before, a lot of AI art is masterful technique applied amateurishly, and I think that's
Ooh.
true. Sometimes that can lead to good results too, but a lot of the time, I've said this on stream before. A lot of the time, you will have someone who has never made art. They have zero taste. They will share the ugliest fucking porn in a porn chat that you've ever seen in your life, and it is just because it is a character that they like. I have seen people share things that I have had to do a double take and be like, what is this supposed to be? And you realize, oh, it's an anthro-fox woman who's blue. It's probably supposed to be Crystal the Fox from Star Fox. But it looks nothing like them because the person drawing it cannot get outside of this one really horrendous style that they've learned to draw in because that's what's gotten them Twitter likes. Those people will get their hands on AI and they will just create shit. They will create things that look terrible and they will make them all 4K, 8K. I finally got the AI to generate an 8K image with upscaling. Isn't that better, guys? No, it's human feces in high def now.
Well, it's
This
sort
is
of
terrible.
it reminds me
Okay,
a little
boys.
bit of yeah. What, Liz?
I got to change the subject.
Well, let me finish my thought on the subject first. Then
Okay.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say it reminds me a little bit of how video games over like the last few decades they've gotten like more and more and more and more and more realistic. Oh, look at all the bump mapping, look at all the
Yeah.
spectral shit, and then it's like so video games from like especially these big AAA companies that could make things look hyper realistic. Everything was like
GTA 6.
yeah, everything was like 5,000 shades of brown. It was all like the most realistic mud you've ever seen. And then what really started to strike a chord, I think, with a lot of gamers was the indie stuff that's just using retro, even like just primitive 32-bit
Like
pixel
what
art.
Yark is doing.
Yeah, like what Yark is doing, or like stuff like what's that Hornet character that's just a really simple, appealing character design.
Silksong?
Yeah, Silk Song. But it's things like that, right? It's like when you have the power to create like 8K mud with like bump mapping and like the spectral shine and this mud is so realistic and these characters have 37,000 pores per square inch, just like a real character has the same number, a real human number of pores, pore simulation perfection. It's like when you can do that, it's sort of like, well, but what's the idea behind it? What are people actually getting out of it? And the more simple execution, the more elegant execution, brings something appealing through the style, through knowing what to omit and how to present things. And it's like that style
Yes,
is something.
less is more.
Yeah, that style is something where it's like it doesn't matter how much RAM your computer has, it's not going to generate taste.
Okay.
Those games a lot because there was a time where having those types of graphics was hard to do. There like in the days of things like Far Cry and Crysis, all the Crytek games, the Crytek engine was basically built from scratch before there was like Unity and Unreal and all that stuff to be an engine that only runs on PC for the express purpose of like squeezing every drop of blood out of the stone that is your graphics processor unit to make everything look as real as possible. I remember when Crysis 2 came out, there were like a lot of people were waiting for like a new graphics card to come out that could handle it. So there was that's like, I think that people who like the Rockstar and people who make things like GTA 6, they are still stuck in that mindset of like, we have to have when you zoom in on the beer, there has to be fizz. You have to be able to see the bubbles because it's again like a Jurassic Park thing where it's like they can, so they never stop to think whether or not they should.
Yeah.
And those games are going to run at like, on most people's computers, they're going to run at less than 30 frames per second, and they're going to heat your house while you play those games. So I certainly think that there's like the Silksong, the new Hollow Knight game, the Silksong game. I'm glad you brought that up because that is a game where they did put a lot of effort into how it looks. Like it's all hand drawn, but it's not 8K. Like the effort did not go into making it photo real. The effort went into making it this curated, stylized, artistic experience that the people who made this had this vision that they wanted other people to experience. And you can I've not played Silksong. I've seen people play that in Hollow Knight, and you can really tell that comes through in those games. It's reminiscent of like, I don't know, just like the Kirby games and Tomba. I'm trying to think of other 2D platformers that did a thing like this. A lot of them are 3D, but
Dust and Elysian Tail.
Yeah, Dustin Elysian Tail's a contender in that, I guess, but it's a lot of people will crucify me for saying that, but it's a solo dev, so it, you obviously cannot expect for it to be something like a huge, very talented team, but Silksong, which had a huge, very talented team, they don't have billions of dollars to put into these games, and even if they did, it might not speed up production because they have a tight-knit team, from my understanding, that does these things. They work well together. That's hard to find. You can't just go hire people off the street. Hey, can you care to join our hive mind of making the game about the bug woman warrior? Like, that's not something that you can just do. Finding good help is difficult, but they broke the Steam store. The Steam store literally malfunctioned the day that Silksong dropped because so many people wanted to buy and download Silksong that it fucked up their servers for everything. I do not remember the last time there was any release on Steam that did that. And I'm sure someone in the chat will tell me, actually, 2017, like, something. But Fine, maybe there was another one that did that. My point is, I've never heard of Grand Theft Auto doing that. I've never heard of, some Unreal 5 game doing that. I've never heard of any of those games doing that because I don't know. People just aren't. They're much larger games too. You would think they would be the thing that would break the servers, but they didn't. And Hollow Knight did. So there's definitely value in not having everything be photo real. And I think, well, I wish that a lot more people who use AI would kind of realize that, but you can't even tell them this. When I've tried to tell people, like, in art, less is more. You don't need to make everything super hyper real. Things can be better when you get away from that idea. And they always tell me, you're an idiot. That's just your opinion. Everything is better when it's closer to being real. And I don't know. I think maybe their vision is just to have some uncanny valley real cheetah girl or something on top of them. But whatever, man. You got AI. You can achieve that now, I guess.
Okay. All right. So anyway, guys. All right. So Dave, how emotionally impacting is your series? I would say it is pretty emotionally impacting. You can definitely get into it.
Yes, I would agree. It is emotionally impacting.
How long will it take to read up to the current state, and how long do you intend it to go? How far do you intend to go with it?
As for how long it's going to take you to read up to the current state, I'm not sure. It depends on if you want to read through the graphic novels or if you also want to read Prelude in there and get the backstory of the characters. But, I don't know, on average, I would say like probably a few hours per graphic novel, a few hours per Prelude collection, maybe a day for a Prelude collection. So you have the time to spend if you want. It's pretty fun. And I think the plan for the graphic novel storyline, it's outlined out, and it's probably going to run between 17 to 22 graphic novels total for the series. But I got to see how the scripts shake out for the individual graphic novels.
I'm going to chop you down.
I'm gonna chop you down.
I'm gonna chop you down.
Get off the internet. I'm cutting it down.
I'm going to edit you.
I read all the way through the graphic novel saga before Volume 5. When it was just Volume 1 through 4, I read all the way through it in a night, like in an evening. So if you...
We're so good.
If you are... It was so good. I liked it. When I met you two, I did not, because a lot of people are like, I have a comic and all my friends have characters in my comic. It's 200 characters. Isn't that impressive? No, it isn't. It sucks. But I didn't know anything about the comic, so I went in with no expectations. I went in with some expectations because I saw the art that was on the Skirmish game when at that CouchCon year, and I was like, wow, this art is really good. And then the little snippets of character stuff make it seem like there's an interesting story there. Maybe I'll just go read it. And I went and read it, and it was literally so good. I read all the way through it in an evening. I think for measure, those of you who know what Prequel Adventure is from Kazarad, before he went on a 2-fucking-year hiatus because he couldn't find someone to draw backgrounds the exact way he wanted. The however much of the comic exists, I think she was in Kvatch. Katya was in Kvatch at that point. However many there were of those, I read through that in a course of like 2 or 3 days. So if I like something, I'll binge it. But I will say that for all the content that exists with Dreamkeepers, the graphic novel saga currently is absolutely readable in like a day or two if you really just sit down and read it all. And it's a good read.
All right, somebody was asking back about your lines and what you did with them with Wisp, but it was a while ago, Dave, and they haven't got back to me, so I'm not sure what you did.
Oh, the lines with Wisp? I colored them. In case they're still around and watching, let me just go...
Yeah,
like magic.
I think this person was really impressed by how you colored lines. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Impacting as in sad, appealing, funny. What little they have seen of the Prelude seems comical. Yes, I would say Prelude is mostly comical. The graphic novel is more
Graphic novel is more like
appealing.
a action horror. So I would say there's a little bit of scary stuff. There's a lot of like action adventure mystery as the orphans get pulled into this conspiracy that involves the ancient nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
But don't take my word for it. Choo-choo-choo.
Check it out for yourself.
Yeah, and if you are like, I don't know if I want to spend my hard-earned cash getting into this graphic novel series.
Oh yeah, you can just read it all for free online on the website.
Yeah, exactly.
See what you think, yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, so Airlast is saying that you do need to fix your newsletter because your newsletter got that wrong.
Shaspot. Well, next time we send out an update, I'll be sure to be like, hey, actually, we match you up to anything. Thank you, Airlast, for confirming that I am a dumb person.
Anything at all.
Yeah. So, just to clarify, could somebody get store credit now by donating to Mamo and then save it and use it in the Black Friday sale in November for sweet deals?
I think so, right? Like, it doesn't expire, does it?
I don't know. I don't like it when things expire. I like to hoard my points. We don't know. There's no answer. We scared Hazen off.
Well, I think if it's up to me, dictator, then we're not going to have them expire. At least not for like a full year or something like that.
Are you a Dave Tater?
A Dave Tater, yeah. That's the type of potato I am for sure. Ooh, I'm getting the Alkalinx colors here, the Northern Alkalinx colors. It's looking kind of fun.
Reading Prelude is like Calvin and Hobbes. Following it with the main comics is like watching Calvin and Hobbes get pulled into a Call of Cthulhu conspiracy. I would love to see that.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good description.
Serious Calvin and Hobbes Call of Cthulhu. Oh my goodness. That would make my day. Why don't we have that?
Actually, that's
We're so
such a good
deprived.
description. We should probably like steal that and put it on the back of the cover or something.
Oh,
It's like if Calvin and Hobbes get killed horrifically by eldritch creatures from beyond the veil. Woo!
but it takes multiple books. Multiple books to pull that off.
But then we give them guns to defend themselves.
Sounds better and better.
The inside of his mouth has biting surfaces. I think their beaks are sharp too, so they're just, you don't want to get bit by one of these guys. They will bite you and your head will disappear.
Who are you
Your
talking
head will
about?
disappear.
Poof, head gone.
Are you talking about the Transcoposob?
No, I'm talking about the Northern Alkalinx.
Okay, well, I only see the Transcoposob.
Well, your stream is way behind. I'm doing
I
so many
know.
fun things right now. You're looking back when I was coloring
So many things.
the Transcopus Lob. We're doing the Northern Alkalinx now.
Yeah, I'm just coloring so many things.
So many creatures, so little time. Do 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 do. Do do.
Oh, I see. You got Jaws here. I'm glad I'm not doing this.
It's me. I'm the one doing this.
Well, you know what you want.
I don't even really know what I want. Otherwise, I could delegate better. Instead, I have to like sort of like experiment and try different colors out and see what looks good. And I think we're zeroing in on a nice color scheme for the Alkalinxes.
That's kind of why I'm making you do it.
The Southern is going to
Not
be a little
touching
more chromatic. I think they look more exotic. Like, look at that guy. That guy's got a face.
He certainly does.
You were talking earlier about those streamers that will do anything for attention. I think that might be literally true. I heard a story about a streamer once where his thing was he would go up to the top of skyscrapers and he would set up his camera and then film himself hanging by his fingertips off the edge of the skyscraper. And then
I've seen that video that talked about that guy.
and like that apparently wasn't dangerous enough to really get the views. He was like, oh, the views aren't coming in the way they used to. I need to up the ante. So what he would do is he would dangle by his fingertips off the edge of a skyscraper. Then he would start doing chin-ups to exhaust his arms. And he would do so many chin-ups that it finally got to the point where he could like barely pull himself back up on the roof.
Where is he now?
You can
Probably on a street.
Yeah, he's gone. That ended about the way you would expect, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think that sort of thing happens often enough to be like, we should ban all social media. But I do think that like they need to teach kids about stuff like this in school.
Yeah.
Like I think at school all around the world, anywhere that has access to the internet, in school you should have to have classes on like the dangers of social media. Like if you're a kid, don't talk to people on social media, don't send people pictures, don't tell people where you live,
Yeah.
and don't do things like put yourself in danger just to be like liked a lot of times on like YouTube or Twitter or something. That kind of stuff is very dangerous.
Yeah, I do think it would make total sense to have that be in school curricula. Because honestly, that's going to be one of like the largest things that new generations have to navigate is like, well, how do you interact with social media? Because even aside from like the edge cases of like, oh, I got pushed to do so many stunts that I killed myself, or like, oh, I got like groomed by a monster and now I'm like all like messed up for life. Even aside from those cases, which do happen, and it's like that's not like a zero tolerant, that's not like a low risk necessarily, but just even the day to day of like trying to explain to kids like, hey, if you're using social media as a primary source of emotional validation, based on all these studies, that's actually counterproductive, and it could turn into like a really unhealthy addiction, and you wind up not actually meeting your emotional needs, but it just sort of perpetuates itself. Because I don't think it's healthy for people to try to get their primary emotional needs met on the internet. Like it doesn't hurt to have that in the mix.
No, I don't think
necessarily.
so either. Yeah.
Like if that's part of your support group, that's not a problem. But I do think people like you need someone in your life that is actually physically in your life. Someone where you can see them, you can interact with them. Like you're in the same room as their pheromones, and you can pick up on the body language.
Yeah.
Like I'm serious. That stuff.
Sniff.
It actually matters. And the fact that there's a generation where that's almost like abnormal, I think is going to have some really unfortunate side effects that will only become apparent as people run into them.
There's a bird that needs to die.
Well, the blue jay,
There's a bird.
he's just out there sounding the alarm. He's telling people, be careful about social media. Look out, look out. He's sounding the alarm for all the other blue jays. Yeah. You can hear the blue jay through my speakers here.
I could hear something, yeah.
That's a blue jay. I could turn the gain up if he continues to be a problem, but I think he got chased off by
Don't.
something.
Give him his own microphone.
Give him his own microphone. It's time for
Make
Bird
him a
Hour
star.
with Dave and Liz.
Well, I think honestly, if we had a conure, that is exactly what it would be. The conure would just take over the mic.
Yeah, like I love the little conures, but they are attention furnaces that cannot be sated.
That never occurred to me that if we would stream, we'd have a loud animal that would be on the mic.
Yeah. Well, back when we had
And it would
Cosmo,
drive
we
people
weren't
insane.
we weren't streaming at all, so it wasn't an issue.
I know, but that never occurred to me until just now that we don't have that problem. And that would be a problem.
What if we didn't have a problem conure?
Problem conure.
The problem with your conure.
So many good names. You can name him Miyago. You can name him Conure.
There's so many good
Column.
names. Iago, Gilbert, so many good names. There's just like a million options running through my head right now. Jafar. The possibilities are only limited by my imagination. Could name it Aladdin.
You got an hour, like a 90-minute animation attention span there, Dave.
My attention span can be measured in Disney films.
I know it can. I know that shark is not a land shark, but it'd be really funny if that thing was just like creeping on the beach.
Land shark.
Well, he's actually got enough tentacles. He could probably get a little more mobility on land than an actual shark.
It's their mating process that they like creep up on the sand like sea turtles and then just like bite at you.
I mean, it might be. They might go up on the beach to get it on because then they're not at risk of other predators getting them as much.
And that's my dream date. Meet on the beach. Nom 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 nom.
Hey girl, you want to meet on the beach writhing up there with our tentacles? Do I? I'm adding gradients now. Gradients to the alkalinks, because I'm unstoppable. But David, won't that make it harder to color every other time you have to color it later on? I don't care. Get in the back seat. We're having fun now. But weren't you the
Well,
one?
you're not animating it.
Weren't you the one that was saying that stylistic interpretation is more important than high levels of detail? Don't use my own words against me.
Yeah, I'm fun here. I try to find gradients on this because you're not going to draw it over and over again.
That's what I always think, and then I wind up like, oh, now it's in the plot, and I have to draw it over and over again.
Oh, wait a minute.
Dun,
I know
dun,
what this is. You're
dun.
going to make the wife color it.
Dun, dun, dun.
And so clue me in, if I ever seen Alkalinks in a comic, I know to get a reference from here. Is that the plan?
Yep. Later on, I might even take a version of this file and put some swatches in it to make it more convenient.
And yet you put gradients on. Like a madman.
These are creatures. It looks cool to have gradients.
You're not thinking ahead. You are not thinking ahead.
Don't tell me that I'm not thinking. I mean, I don't tell me. Who are you bringing all this self-awareness around these parts? That's not what we ordered.
Oh my goodness. Dave, you can't see it, but Mamo has animated the Alkalink's head roaring.
Oh, nice. Mamo, you're on fire. You're gonna have to bust this out on the next stream.
Yeah, if you can put those in Discord or Twitter so he can find them, that'd be great, because when they go in the chat, he doesn't see them. I do. And I can't do anything.
She's powerless over there on the portable laptop. Me over here with my fingertips at all of the files needed. I am just ignorant and dumb.
That's generally how we work. Yeah, you gotta put it in the Twitter or the Discord so he can see it, because he can't see the links. That's why I do the chat, is because he can't see the chat.
I mean, I could turn it on over to the side here, but then I would probably forget to look at it after about 20
Well,
seconds.
the problem is it would send you to a different screen if you click the link, so you can't
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I like this guy better having like a darker beak. I changed my mind. Your beak is dark. Pew. Pew. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Well, that's the northern. But what does this guy look like? Southern Alkalinks.
You've got northern and southern alkalinxes.
Yeah. I mean, there's variation in species, even in the real world. It's like more than one kind of tiger. You know, that's sort of how it works.
We've planned this all out, everybody. I liked him with the gray beak. I don't know.
Yeah, but the dark just sort of makes him look a little more intimidating, I think. The other thing, too, is like, as with all types of animals, we don't have to be as strict on the swatches with the creatures as we do with characters. Because, you know, a character is consistently the same individual. Whereas, like, creatures, like, when you draw a creature, like, several times, it could be a different animal over here, different
Yep.
animal over there. So unless it's, like, actually, like, within one consistent scene and it's supposed to be the same animal, I think there's a lot more flexibility on the swatches for animals.
He's so mad.
What, the Alkalinks? Yeah. Well, his face is just designed to look mad. The beak gives it like a perma frown. He's got resting bitch face. It's not that they're always mad. It's just that their face is rigidly set in a frown because it's a beak. Sometimes they're
Well,
happy, but you have to guess. You don't know.
He looks like he has a headdress or something with his feathers.
Yeah,
He looks
they've got a big
an
ruff.
Aztec kind of snake guy.
I was sort of going for more of that flavor combined with a little bit of like the foo dogs that you see in like Chinese temples and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So a little bit more of like a Chinese dragon look, and then the main Alkalinx is a little bit more of like almost like a classic griffin, like a Western griffin type of a feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see colors varying on the creatures, even like based off of like which environment they happen to be chilling in, you know?
Oh, that's true. You look so mad. I like his stupid face.
So if I ever mess up on the colors and someone's like, hey, you colored that completely wrong, just remember, no, it's
Blame your
based on
wife.
their environment they're in, actually. Checkmate! And then we run. Then we throw the smoke bomb and we get out.
Yep, we throw all the pencils at them and run away.
Exactly.
And they will not catch you and hold you accountable. Because that is the thing you fear the most is accountability.
As soon as this
Not
lore book goes
accountability.
out and everyone knows what the lore is, then they're gonna know when I'm fucking up the lore.
Yeah. I have heard a story that maybe you're messing up the Nabonidus spikes on him. I don't know. I
The
haven't looked.
Nabonidus what's?
Spikes on his shoulders.
I don't think so. I've actually got him pretty nailed down on the swatch sheet with how his little shoulder armor pads go.
I don't know.
But it's possible I've drawn it wrong here and there, so I wouldn't be totally stunned.
I haven't seen examples, but I'm not gonna argue if I can't see it.
Yeah.
I can't defend you if I don't know your position, sir. What you're guilty of.
strong words coming from the wife. She's like, listen, unless I have eyes on exactly what you've done, I cannot possibly just defend you, assuming that you are innocent.
Oh, exactly. When it comes to messing up a character.
This is like, my
Because
reputation is at stake. We're gonna have to have guilty until proven innocent with you, sir.
Hey, I caught a missing bobby tail the other day, sir.
A missing bobby tail. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, it's actually just he's just standing in
Behind
such
his
a way
leg?
that it's yes, behind his leg. You see, you can do it for me. You can help me
Nope.
commit these crimes.
No, you need to
I'll-
fix that.
I'll add the bobby tail, Mom. Since I've been caught
Yeah.
red-handed,
Yeah.
I'll add the bobby tail. Unless, what if Bobby just randomly didn't have a tail that day? You never thought of that, did you?
He forgot to put it on.
Yeah. Turns out Bobby's tail is actually a fashion accessory. Now that's canon, because otherwise the alternative would be that I admit that I fuck up sometimes, and that's unthinkable.
Can never be.
Sometimes Dave gets things wrong. Da-da-da-da-da. Here's the song. Da-da-da.
No, listen to my song.
That's okay, Mamo. It's a different Bobby. This Bobby has no tail.
Bobby B, they call him for short.
Bobby's twin, the bobtail Bobby.
Bobby Bobtail.
Dave, did you ever see the movie with the Water Boy? I never saw that film.
With Adam
With
Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I think I saw that before.
I should probably see it.
I thought we saw that together. You might not remember it because it felt kind of forgettable. He lives with a Cajun Bayou mother, and there's like alligator jokes in there.
I never finished watching it. I turned it off. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I enjoyed Happy Gilmore, I remember, but Waterboy was just, I don't know, I was not as much of a fan of Waterboy. It's not like I dislike it, it just didn't really hit the chuckle box as frequently and as effectively as Happy Gilmore did.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I was just sick of Adam Sandler shit! Had enough of you, Adam!
I think at some point people did have enough of him. Like for a while he had just made movies no one was watching, and then they had to, I don't know, he stopped making movies for a while, and then he pivoted into something else. He started
They put
doing
him out to-
movies like Funny People, which I thought were good.
Put him out to
too.
pasture. I think he did some voice acting.
I heard someone
He
speculating.
did, yeah. No, that is what he did. He did a lot of voice acting after that, yeah.
I heard a YouTuber speculating that like some of those terrible movies were like effectively like money laundering for his friends. He's like, hey, the movies are rolling in, so we're just gonna all pay ourselves like $5 million to be in them until the gravy train ends, and then at some point the gravy train ended. But I don't think that the movies are. I don't even know. I'm not even like trying to propagate a narrative like, oh, the movies all became bad. I haven't seen them all. I don't know. They're probably fine, but I don't think that if there are any movies that are like lackluster, it's not because like Adam Sandler is like a bad actor or something. Because he's been in stuff apparently where he's really good and he can have a lot of range. So it would probably be more of like a scripting or a directorial issue, if anything.
Yeah, I like his old movies. They recently come out with a sequel to Happy Gilmore, I think, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think it was on Netflix.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't even know that.
Oh, that's probably
heard-
why I haven't seen it.
I heard it was all cameos.
It was on Cameo?
No, it was all cameos. Like just
Oh, it was all cameos. Okay.
people getting their
I don't-
shots in the film.
That's sort of wouldn't surprise me, I guess, a lot, yeah.
I do find it interesting. Just even this conversation is anecdotally reinforces my thought that movies are just, they do not hold the same position in American culture that they did when we were kids. Like when we were growing up, if there was like, oh, have you seen the summer blockbuster movie? If there was a movie in like the theater that was at least halfway decent. Like everybody, it was like a universal touchstone. It was something that like everyone had in common. Like we all knew this movie, we would all know the references. It was just part of the common culture. And I feel like, for better or for worse, with the introduction of the internet, entertainment has shattered into a trillion facets across the whole face of the internet. So now there's like YouTube channels and streaming and like Netflix and shows and movies, and there's so many things now that I don't think that, so I would imagine when I was a kid, if someone's like, oh yeah, did you hear Happy Gilmore 2 came out? Like it would be, everyone would know, everyone would have seen it. Whereas now it's almost like this, almost like even if it's happening now and recently, it's like an obscure piece of trivia where it's like, oh, did you know? Did you know there was another film that came out? It's like, oh, really? I had no clue. Where was it? Was it under this log or that log? Or, it was under the Netflix log. Well...
Yeah, are you paying for the Netflix log? Because I'm not.
Who would have guessed? If you wouldn't have told me, no one would have ever known. So it's just interesting to me that films, movies, they no longer have that central stage presence in our culture. They're really, like, everything's sort of been equalized down to the lowest common denominator, I guess. I don't even know if it's not even like a good or a bad thing. It's just a times have changed thing.
Like they rebooted Tiny Toons and I don't even know where to find that, and it's over already.
Yeah, the other thing too is like back in the day, 90s or whatever, if there was a summer blockbuster, like it would be in the theater all summer. And then, like, you wouldn't really be able to get a video or DVD until, like, a year or two later. Now it's like you hear...
And then they would announce it really big again.
Yeah, but now it's like, a movie comes out, and then almost, like, within a few days, like, if it doesn't do that well in theaters, it's like, and now it's streaming, and now it's on... Oh, do we even care about physical media? Blu-rays, whatever. On to the next thing. Like, the life cycle for movies is so short, just because I think movies are now sort of competing... kind of in the same environment as all of these other entertainment forms, where like the life cycle, like say on streaming, it's not just short, it's like immediate, it's live, and it's live over and over on a repeating basis. And I know that different types of content doesn't necessarily compete directly with like live content, but still the overall time frame in the ecosystem has shortened considerably for a lot of entertainment forms. That's almost why it seems like weird to be continuing to make books or even like sometimes video games, because it's like these things take a long time to produce. There's a lot of investment that goes into carefully constructing something very specific. But I don't know, it's what we like to do. And I think especially, I don't know, I would like to think that especially in an environment where there's so much stuff that's always coming out, where there's just like a flood of content, and it's always refreshing itself. I would like to think that things that are truly like noteworthy or good or exceptional can kind of stand the test of time and will be the signal that keeps on repeating. Because if you have a kaleidoscope of content everywhere, right? There's like, a trillion movies coming out every day on Netflix. Maybe not now, but maybe there will be once like AI really kicks in. If the whole landscape is a kaleidoscope and it's always changing, then the thing that might potentially stand out is if there's one signal that repeats in the same color at the same point over and over again. You might notice, hey, there's always this kaleidoscope of new stuff shuffling around everywhere. But here's this thing that keeps on blinking into existence, and I keep on noticing it. And like, oh, I heard someone mention that this series was really good once, and then I ignored it because there's always people talking. But then like a year later, I heard them mention, yeah, this series is really good. They came out with a new book, and it's like, oh, okay. And then like if they get the same signal blinking enough times, they might realize, hey, there's something here that people keep returning to, or it keeps getting mentioned. So it's possible that there might be a worthwhile fragment in the midst of this maelstrom of stuff. So, color me optimistic, but I would like to think that maybe that's how things will sort of shake out. And what color should his feathers be? Not sure
Probably
yet.
a darker maroon red. I would go with a red.
I'm considering like a brighter magenta even, or like a teal. Something to just give this guy a bit of a crazy edge. But all these things I'm plopping in here now will effectively be placeholders, so I play with it later.
Teal would be interesting.
Teal would be interesting. I think probably they'll either be teal with his eyes being like magenta, or it'll be an inverse, but I feel like there's got to be some... Oh yeah, teal is actually looking really cool at first glance here. Or I guess this is aqua, not teal. But either way, the Southern Alcolynx is going to be a fun fella. He's going to be the one you bring to the party. Yeah, I'm liking the Southern Alcolynx quite a lot. He's almost got like a war mask look to him with this ruff of feathers around him being so bright. If you were going to have a northern or a southern Alcolynx for a pet, and you had to pick one, Liz, which one would you pick?
Wait, what was the question?
If you had to have a northern Alcolynx or a southern Alcolynx for a pet, which one would you choose?
Well, the northern Alcolynx looks rideable, but that southern one needs to be in an aquarium because he looks like a biter.
He does look like a biter. You'd put him in an aquarium?
How big is he?
How big? It's a predator. It's like the size of a tiger.
Oh, yeah, that thing looks nuts.
You'd put it in an aquarium? Like, would it be full of water? What are you thinking?
I'm not gonna let that near me.
So I guess that answers the question. You would go for the the northern Alcolynx, the more chill, manageable version.
He's a little more aerodynamic in motion. This guy looks like a frilled lizard.
Yeah. I do think, actually...
Do they get along?
Do they get... No, they do not get along. There's a reason that some of them are in the north and the other ones of them are in the south, and I don't think that there's a lot of friendly overlap going on there.
And chat really likes the V beach animation that he did. You'll have to see it in Telegram when we're done.
Nice. Yeah, please make sure to hit me with the link when we're done, and I can maybe show it off next stream.
It's in there.
Cool.
Anyway, it looks like this would try to eat Whip. I'm pretty sure everything on this page would try to eat Whip.
Not every... I mean, this guy's
Yeah,
a
nothing.
herbivore. He's not going to try to eat Whip. I found something not going to be eating Whip. It might knock him out of the sky and kill him, but it's not going to eat him, necessarily.
I'm pretty sure we could show the beach thing on the next stream on Friday.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
That looks like more of a jade green and less of a turquoise teal to me. You know how I get about my colors. Turquoise has more blue in it. That's a jade.
I will let you determine the terminology.
I'll change the color. This looks jungle.
Yeah.
Actually, he looks like an Oompa Loompa monster, Dave.
An Oompa Loompa monster. Beautiful. Perfect.
The orange and the green and the.
That's what I was hoping people would think when they saw him. I was hoping they'd think Oompa Loompa, but dangerous.
Oh, Mammo's getting flooded with followers again. That's
Hey,
cool.
nice. Way to go, Mamo.
Building.
I'm gonna be right back. Just taking a quick break. Alright, and back.
I'm talking about doing a Simpsons parody in with Dreamkeeper stuff.
Oh, Simpsons parody? That sounds fun.
I don't know what T437 scene is in Simpsons, but it sounds fun.
T437?
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, everyone's favorite Simpsons character, T437.
The T437 scene in Simpsons. I don't know what that is. Red eyes? Magenta eyes? That's creepy. I love him.
I'm still making big picture tweaks, but I think the red eyes might be keepers. Like the magenta eyes look pretty fitting for this delightful fella. Ooh, actually I like the lighter bone color for his muzzle.
Homer spills Buzz Cola on
Cola.
his safety command console at work. Man on the phone losing their shit when it happens. Okay, well, it's good to know because the T437 was not helping. I have not
Yeah, I
yet
don't
memorized.
remember that being called that. It's been
I have
years.
not memorized all the scene numbers for Simpsons, so pardon me. I'm not.
That might be like some like code T437 or something. They yell.
thought it
I
was
don't
better.
remember.
I was trying to remember what the Terminator is called. I didn't know.
Oh,
The
that's
T1
the T2000. T1000.
Okay. There we go. Well, same thing to me.
Yeah, what Happy Guy 1, maybe explain why it's called the T43. I don't know what is even the number.
That's a
T437.
That's the season number of Simpsons that they're on.
Maybe it's certainly not formatted like one.
You know, I wouldn't want to hang out with the angry video game nerd. I think he just plays video games a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hang out with him either. I never did.
That's why I stopped calling him and emailing him.
That's why I stopped asking him to hang out, just because I never actually wanted to hang out with him.
I just wanted to see what he'd say.
Exactly.
I was just trolling.
Actually, I didn't really want to. I just, just seeing what he'd say.
I never
Gee.
wanted to. I was just testing him.
But David, he emailed back and said it was cool. You could come over.
What? I mean, maybe I'll think about it if he really wants to now.
Well, I mean, if he
I'll
wants
have to think
to.
about it.
No, I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure that date would be pretty boring. I don't think he swears that often.
Dave, like the most entertaining and hangy outy I am is probably on stream. So hanging out with me would be like this, only I'd probably be trying less hard to be marginally interesting.
You wouldn't be talking, for one.
Not
I've
so
seen you.
much.
You just hide and draw. You don't talk to people.
Well, the thing is, on stream, I usually have something set up where I can color it and also have some processing power left over. But if I'm doing, like, say, blue line sketches, then typically I need to
Okay, yeah.
I need to fully concentrate. I can't really carry on a conversation effectively there.
Don't talk to David time. I know. I failed the test.
Do I want to give him black
You have
tea?
failed the test.
You have spoken to the
Okay.
art goblin when it was unwelcome.
The
wait outside.
T437 is a safety control room for the reactor. Oh, that's what they call the control room. I've actually never heard it called that, but I won't argue with you. You maybe know your Simpsons stuff more than me.
Have you guys made a picture of Grun strangely maced like Homer and Bart yet? It seems almost strange if we
Oh my
haven't.
god. Oh my god. How has that never happened?
You're right. We haven't done that yet.
That is such a funny fucking idea. Oh my god.
Put in sketch of the month. I don't make my own decisions. Put
Please,
it there.
someone suggest that for sketch of fun.
Jason, go watch it. Make sure it happens.
Well, make sure Homer strangles Bart. I'm pretty sure that does happen in The Simpsons.
What, you little?
No, but they mean Grun and Mace doing it.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever drawn that, but that might not even be like a thing that it's like, oh, it's sketch of the month. Here's a non-canonical. It's like, no, that could just happen at some point. it's not impossible.
I can do it with robots. Doesn't matter. Robots.
Somebody knows way too much Simpsons lore if they can identify it based on that one.
Happy Guy 1, are you Australian? I'm not trying to dox you. Everyone I know who really loves Simpsons this much is fucking Australian.
Really?
Yeah. And they're all like they're all like Eastern Australian as well. You don't see many people in Perth and Alice Springs talking about the Simpsons. Always like New South Wales and Queensland people.
Keeping it alive, I guess.
Well, it's due to the fact that like for a long time there was just nothing on Australian TV because they wouldn't license things to like be played there. So for like 10 years, like the only really good thing to watch was The Simpsons. I think at some point, Australians Comedy Central thing, they actually licensed Big Les from Jared Wright. Which if you've never seen Big Les, it's all on YouTube. It's originally a YouTube series. Please God, today after like in 10 minutes when the stream ends, go on YouTube and look up Big Les, Biglez, and you will laugh until you urinate on yourself.
I need to do that. I've had it recommended to me a couple
The
times.
watching or the urinating? The watching or the urinating, Dave?
Well, I should probably watch it too.
Yeah, have a bottle handy.
Someone reminded me to urinate last week, and it seemed like a good idea, so I'm adding that to my planner. Urinate.
What?
Okay.
What is the difference between Eastern and Western Australian? Civilization.
Really? I didn't know that there was a difference. I thought it was just all one sort of massive. Like, good
Well,
day,
no, I
mate.
mean they're all on
no.
the edges. They're on the edges of the country.
Yeah, most of Australia is like completely untamed. Like almost all of their like habitated, like lived in area is like on the very outer coastal edge of everything, with the exceptions being like Alice Springs, which is northwest, and Perth, which is all the way to the west, and Perth is just not as populated because there's just not like a major city there. I don't think. I don't think there maybe is like a major city in terms of Perth, but there's nothing like Sydney or any of those kinds of cities like that.
So I can tell you already from
Canberra.
this conversation what my interest with Australia is beginning to run into, which is so North America, we've got Sasquatch, we've got some lizard people. Are there any good cryptids in Australia? And why
There's
don't
lots of good cryptids.
Why doesn't
Yeah.
anyone live in the middle of Australia? Is it because that's where all the monsters are at? That'd be cool.
Because it's uninhabitable. It's all just that's like
And spiders.
the middle of Australia is what they call the outback, and it like that's just where you go to die. Like there's just nothing, and like that is where a lot of cryptid sightings are. Things like the yowie and the water bear and stuff like that. That's where people have seen a lot of stuff like that in Australia. I don't ever hear anyone talk about the water bear, but like it's supposedly like this huge hairy hippopotamus type thing that they've been spotted, but no one's ever gotten like a really good picture of them or anything.
I can imagine that being, because I know hippos. I don't know a lot about like the wilderness, but I do know hippos.
You don't need to. Yeah.
Hippos are one of the most dangerous animals there are. Like if you're in Africa and you're like, oh, what would be more dangerous to be nearby, like a crocodile or a hippo? It's like a hippo because they're very territorial and very aggressive. And imagine something that weighs like a few thousand pounds that has tusks, and it can run out of the water as fast as a horse, and it will kill you if it notices you're in its territory. Like, that's a hippo.
It can run as fast as a horse,
So that
and
plus
it's
hair,
also like
terrifying.
just
Taller than
it has a
crocodile.
mouth the size of a fucking SUV. Like it can just destroy you in one bite.
Yeah.
The official defense strategy of Australia was they can have it. If all of Japan invaded, it abandoned the entire northern half of the country, and the Japanese could figure out a use for it. They were welcome to it. I never knew that, but like knowing what I know about places like Alice Springs, like that may have been as viable a strategy as the Russians abandoning Moscow and the fight with Napoleon. Right before winter.
Yeah, I was gonna say Russia, and they're all like, "Yeah, you like winter? We got some."
That was an amazing troll on Napoleon too. He was just sitting in Moscow like, well, I have taken your capital city. Now you will be compelled to come and negotiate. And Alexander was just like, yeah, dog. I'm tomorrow, right? I'll be there tomorrow. A few days. Trust me. We totally want to negotiate. We didn't just set fire to the whole city and take all the food stores and like fucking leave. We're just hang tight. Just chill. Note the darkly
You
ironic.
can have our capital city, you talentless noob. Trollolo.
Yeah, seriously. And then Napoleon gradually started to realize as it got colder and colder. Wait a minute. I think I have been trolled. Oh no.
I've been tricked. Literalled. Mamo made something else
I've
for you.
been
Dave.
literal.
I have been literalled.
Oh, hey. Mamo made. Okay. Mamo made Grun pouring beer onto a computer.
Yes.
He is Homer.
Okay. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Magnificent. Speaking of
I'm not
magnificent,
doing it.
I like the
Got a tail.
I like these jungly colors
is
for
funny.
the southern alkalinks.
I imagine Grun doing that like in the scene in The Thing where the computer's beating the guy at chess and he just pours like a fucking glass of whiskey into the like the floppy drive thing.
Whiskeyed. Bam.
Dave, he's got a bone face. He
That's
looks like an
actually, I
asshole.
really like that scene from, what was it from? The Thing. Guys sucked at chess.
You're just laughing. You would die from the thing, but you're laughing that you'd win at the chess game.
I might die from the Thing, but I wouldn't blunder so mindlessly into checkmate as that.
Hippos can bite a crocodile in half. That is just true.
Yeah, like crocodiles don't fuck with hippo. Like nothing fucks with hippos.
Yeah.
Hippo god.
Like there's not, and like most of the time hippos won't even fuck with each other unless they're absolutely forced to do so.
Like imagine if a sumo wrestler was sharp. And then like times
Yeah.
500.
Imagine if a sumo wrestler had a mouth the size of his entire body, and also like was angry and you could not talk to him.
Also, I remember as a kid looking at all the nature documentaries and thinking, well, the hippo teeth, they look really dull, so it's, at least they wouldn't be able to like really bite you that bad with those teeth. But apparently, as an adult, reading further upon hippos and their teeth, the tips are not like needlepoint tips, but the sides are sharp. Like they have sharp sides. So what they do is they open their mouth and they just like hurl it left and right while they charge at you, and it's basically like a lawnmower coming your way.
Okay, Dave.
That's me.
We have a first time viewer that just came in. What are you doing?
Oh, hey, I'm coloring
What are you
creatures
doing?
for the upcoming Dreamkeepers Ascension tabletop roleplay lore book. And this is the table of contents. And you can see the bestiary is going to be down here. But I want them to be in color because I've had them in black and white for a while, but we are taking a lot of our old artwork and we're coloring it up for the lore book. So it's going to be beautiful and fun, and you're going to go on adventures, and it'll be great. And if you're totally new to Dreamkeepers in general, we got a graphic novel series you can catch up on at dreamkeeperscomic.com. Ta-da!
So we're done in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Man, start talking about hippos and time flies, I tell you. Well, I guess this is a good time for the reminder. If you guys want to help out Mamo, very, very upstanding, creative community member who is having some trouble living in a literal hellish war zone right now, we do have a fundraiser live also at dreamkeeperscomic.com. Just head to the store, go to the donation tab. If you click the categories to the right, you'll see the donation tab, and you can help them out. And we are matching. My newsletter was wrong. We are not matching up to $20 in donations. Anything you donate, you're going to get that in store credit in your account, so you can buy some Dreamkeepers merch if you like. And help
Okay, Dave.
someone that needs help at the same time. Yeah, Liz?
Dave, when do you stream? Because the person who just came in is new.
Oh yeah, we stream every Monday, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, and we stream every Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. So, if you...
But if it's a not safe for work stream, it doesn't show up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's actually, if you're looking at us on YouTube, the YouTube will sometimes get the safe for work streams. Sometimes the streams don't pop up on YouTube because it's a little buggy, but we have the streaming schedule also like front and center on our website page. If you go to dreamkeeperscomic.com, I feel like I'm repeating that a lot. But if you go there, we got the stream schedule up, and that links to the Picardo, which is also the chat that we monitor a little more assiduously.
That's a giraffe. I'm not fooled.
It's not a giraffe. I gave it giant like wing antlers to flap around and punch people in the
sea
face
giraffe. Does it fly? Is it a sea giraffe?
with. It does not fly. It's a fantasy comic, Liz. Not a stupid fantasy comic. Gosh.
This fantasy comic is stupid.
No. It's totally plausible. Do not pay attention to the Springers. Do not pay attention to the Springers. Oh no, they know my fantasy is not plausible. I prefer. Oh, thank you for the link, Erlass. You are on the spot today. Well, I think that's our time. So I'm probably gonna run off and do some errands before things close today. But thank you guys for chilling and watching us pick out colors on these creatures. Did a little bit of Wisp art for Wisp Appreciation Week. Tag us on.
Did you show Wisp again?
Yeah, I am showing Wisp again. Tag us on X if you got some Wisp appreciation that we need to share around, because that's all fun. Help out Mamo, get some store credit in the Dreamkeeper store. You can look around and be like, what kind of stuff would I buy if I had some money to blow in here? And yeah, we'll be streaming again. The Dreamkeeper's Ascension tabletop roleplay lore book is in the works, and it's going to be very pretty and jam-packed with all kinds of fun stuff. All right, and someone was asking at the top of the stream if we have any updates on the Dreamkeeper Skirmish video game, and work is being done continuously by the coder, but right now we don't really have anything that would be like a big update in terms of your experience as a user. But it's getting worked on, and there will be updates as soon as we get something good to share.
And don't worry, we can look at Uravat being animated for like 5 streams all in a row again. That's coming. Love that.
Yeah, so basically with that, we sort of discovered that there's like a lot of code that is
Incomplete.
pretty bad. It's complete, but it's a complete mess. So we really have to go in, and it's taking quite a long time to refactor a lot of that code and have things be organized. Someone who was working on it did a very poor job of having this code be readable or usable by any other human being, including themselves. And we are trying to get that squared away and fixed so that we can continue to edit the game, and it will be not impossible to patch issues when they arise and things like that. So that's why you're not seeing a lot of like things that are new on the game right now, because a lot of what's going on is us sort of gutting a lot of the code and just refactoring it. So that's gonna take a while, but we're getting closer to the end of that now.
Indeed. All right. Well, this has been our Monday stream. Thanks you guys for coming and hanging out, and we'll be doing, if not before, more streaming on Friday. So, have a good week, behave, be good to each other, look out for hippos. The stream ends in 5, 4, 3, 2,